Alright guys, hello again. Uh, we're moving we're moving on at a pretty steady pace over here. Really, we've already set up our schedule there, and this time we are hitting this the Danilovgrad army base. Now remember, it's one of the main army bases and supply points for the Serb army in Montenegro. So high importance target really, and this thing needs to be probably struck there. Now I'm also assigning us some other strategically important targets to my squadron buddies because they've done such a great job doing those. This is the Sjenica radio tower, and the other strike is the Patch or Pack army base. Okay, so two more pairs go into the air. So nothing special as far as loadout. Taking the 31 GBU-31 JDAM bombs, and of course two wing tanks just to be safe. Okay guys, see you into the air. Alright, keeping our toes on the brakes and applying power. Okay, we have a stable jet. Normally we'll hold about 20-30 seconds, probably 1 minute in this condition, but we're good to go. I'm not gonna waste your time guys, just blowing throttle forward. We have good airspeed going, and those troops are precariously already situated over the runway. Anyway, just
Python 1-1, resume on navigation.
coming up. Okay, establish a good nose up attitude and climb. We shouldn't.
Fury 1-1, resume on navigation.
Alright, just switch these fuel tank switch, and just in case you're wondering guys, this is a fuel transfer switch in the normal
Python
position.
1-2, airborne.
I'm going to use up your internal tanks.
Fury 1-2, resume on navigation.
Oh, that was close. And the wing tanks first position, you're gonna use fuel from your wing tanks first, and then internal tanks. And this is done really just because you can use fuel up from
Sentry
your wings.
2, be advised, enemy aircraft launch activity detected. Bullseye 100, 260 miles.
From
Sentry 2, radar contact. Bullseye.
So that you can drop those tanks earlier in case you need to. And of course you see one very distinct problem here. When you're flying against the sun, your HUD kind of does out, and it's almost unreadable. You have to zoom in, or it's generally a good idea. Don't fly against the sun. It really kind of shows you the importance of attacking your targets from the sun, because they're harder to acquire visually. Alright, we're actually going to assume we're here slightly left-ish course. I'm just going to make a quick review on my bombs. I'm keeping the default bomb parameters. I'm good. Hammocks on, dogfights on.
2, in position.
We can actually go ahead and punch this thing. Yeah. This is the just trying out. We have actually 3 types of missiles on board. This is the X-ray, the Bravo Slammer, and the Charlie Slammer. Alright, everything's set up exactly the way I want it.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
137 miles to target. We're doing good.
Serpent 1-1. Money spike.
This is one of my buddy squadron buddies actually. Because we're more or less in the same direction. I'm actually hitting the closest targets. Just because I opted for a quicker, and this is really the quickest flight and the quickest story of all three I've planned for this cycle. We're continuously cycling jets around, really, and it puts a lot of strain there. It puts a lot of strain on both maintenance personnel and the airframes themselves, because really they're almost constantly into the air, those airplanes, and those engines are running pretty heavy loads. It kind of puts this perspective into those kinds of campaigns, because you know, this is some form of technology there, and it gets fatigued. So this is definitely something pretty interesting to consider. Well, of course, I'm not sure if it's entirely simulated over here in Falcon, this thing, but the Realjet definitely and having a reliable, really platform is what sometimes makes the difference, really. Now the targets, so that I'm hitting, I'm hitting two targets, of course, because I'm carrying two bombs. Two also carries two bombs himself. So I'm gonna try to hit the depot, and I know those are soft, so the depot's pretty much soft skin. I don't know if that's the correct term for it, but I'm thinking one bomb there, 1 2,000 pounder, could hit the pretty much center in the depot, and it could pretty much blow the whole thing up. And the second bomb I'm landing on, I'm landing on one of the admin buildings. I know there's an ammo dump there, but it really calls for a penetrating warhead, and that's something I don't have right now. And really, as far as economy goes, so we could be bombing those targets with just dumb bombs. We can be lifting a pair of Mark 84s. Of course, accuracy is going to be degraded, and I'm going for a certain kind of effect here, as you already know. So I want to get as efficient as I can. Of course, if you run out of JDAMs, and really what JDAM is, it's the guidance kit that's fitted on Mark 82s or Mark 83s or Mark 84s, as well as the paveway bomb. It really is the guidance, laser guidance in the fins that are fitted on the actual bombs. Bombs are pretty much stock. But as you can see here, this guidance kit is fitted onto the bomb, retrofitted onto the bomb, and the bomb becomes a smart bomb. Very very efficient and very effective technology. It's been around for ages, well, for quite some time now. And very useful. I guess you could fit it in any size of bomb. You just have to modify the dimensions of the actual guidance kit but you know, it's bombs as small as the Mark 82s can actually get them in their designation. Then in turn changes to GBU 38. So GBU 38s are essentially that Mark 82s with guidance kits. And with GPU 38s, what we can actually do, we can actually carry more bombs. Now the GPU 32 in Falcon BMS 3.4.32 were present for the block of 50 and block 52. I don't know if they kind of removed those from the loadouts, but I don't see them anymore. I know that GPU 32s I can carry two over here. Two under each wing, so it's 4 bombs in total. And the 32s, if I'm not mistaken, they're 1,000 pounders, pretty hefty bombs. Okay, so you're making good way to target 90 miles, 70 miles. I'm gonna start. Actually, I'm gonna start spooling up the bombs right now. And this thing just needs to, the INS just needs to outline. It's an INS guidance with GPS correction, so it's going to constantly communicate with the satellites. Now, guys, some of you actually might go away. Well, wait. What if there is GPS jamming in your target area, and you're not able to get some GPS signals? Well, then you revert to either using laser guided bombs if the visibility permits, or you use dove bombs. Well, if you have very low ceilings, you're pretty much screwed. If you have extremely low ceilings and you have GPS jamming, your aviation assets will become ineffective. So very important, and I'm pretty sure that I mean, the stock nav system for JDAMs is the inertial nav system. It gets some kind of updates from GPS just to keep itself current and accurate. It might revert back to entirely INS guidance, but that I think that means well, that means that you're gonna get a lot of drift on its way to the target, and you're gonna have much less accuracy factor. Okay, as you see in the prowlers here, now in balance of power, if you remember, we actually had a dedicated prowler squadron entirely fitted for the seed role. Now all those guys could carry external wing tanks and harms. All those guys could carry, and of course some kind of jamming pod. So very nice asset to have, especially when your SAM environment consists mainly of SA2s. Alright, I might have screwed up actually a little bit on those waypoints. What I did was pretty dumb. You can see actually, no, yeah, they're here. 12 and 13. I'm good. 12 and 13. Send those things up. Get one more picture.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 015, 15 miles, 15,000.
And guys, I've actually been looking at an extremely high importance target. This is the Belgrad command bunker, so it's probably where all the big shots are. Now, getting there unnoticed, I don't think that's actually an option. However, even getting there alone is going to be very problematic, because it's 300 miles away from our base. But if I am able to get there somehow, uh, I will be in a position to actually land this blow on the Serbs that might be actually decisive in terms of resolution of this conflict. And now we're getting some eagles here, or make sure those are indeed eagles.
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
It's a friendly contact. I know that's friendly. Let's see, those guys who just popped up. So if I'm able to do this,
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
And so far, I have to say, so far we have been getting some very positive
Icon
feedback.
1-1 sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
Some very positive feedback from the negotiations there that take place. So very happy with that. It looks like our strikes over there actually have effect, which is very good. I'm going to go ahead and fence in this time so we can actually go lights out. I'm sitting at 9.2. I'm going to fence my number 2 in.
2, fence in.
Hammocks, CMS, master, and so I'm about to spooled up and going to zero those guys on. The status is ready, which is what I'm looking for when dropping those guys, really. I'll be delivering from a high altitude. Right now we're 34,500 30 miles away, and right away we're seeing some air defense assets over here to serve this. The SA-3, they actually right there on the coast, and I think our guys have gotten a lot smarter by now, and they're really not overflying those SA-3s, and very happy with that. So we have a bunch of guys that are cold, so really that shouldn't be a problem.
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
Now you see this base very frequently. Every time I pretty much go feed dry, I go near this base, and this is one of the main approach corridors that we're using. And this is why it was all this important to really clear the way. Okay, my number 2 is reporting something that they really want to take a look at. I'm going to
Icon 1 sentry 2. Be advised, threat aircraft bearing 025, 30 miles, 16,000. Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 335, 10 miles, 6,000.
Yeah, there we go. And this might be my guy. I shoot.
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
Okay, it's a friendly. Okay, friendly eagle shot him down. As you can see, they got both splashes there. Good thing. And tripwest 2 might be a factor over there, so don't want to overfly these guys. Okay, friendlies, Jaguars, and those guys.
Stun, 2-2, buddy spike.
And it's a buddy spike as well. Alright, looks good so far.
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 075, 25 miles.
075 for 25, that's right on the nose. So again, a lot more air activity than I actually expected, but it's okay. 25 miles should be somewhere here.
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 080, 25 miles.
25 miles for not getting altitude readout, which is fine. I'll check.
Icon 1-1 sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
Okay, it's a friendly Falcon. make sure those guys are friendly as well.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
I'm getting some actually flak here. Yeah, you're absolutely getting some flak.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Contact is friendly.
And of course, remember the 20,000 floor. We want to make sure we staying always above 20,000. And really, the thing with those AAA, they might have no hope actually of hitting you, but they're going to shoot at you, even if you are 30,000 feet AGL. Really, they're just gonna shoot. Just to make you maneuver. Just to make you maneuver. So you have to stay cautious of that as well.
Icon 1 Sentry 2. Be advised, threat aircraft bearing 105, 10 miles.
Alrighty. So it's gonna be 1 away and 2 away. And I'm gonna go ahead then shoot this scaling to my
welcome.
and I'm letting him engage as well. Keeping in sight over here. This is my first target. My second target is the depot, so I'm gonna try to do this. Keep him in sight. Get the picture. Try to.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 065, 50 miles, 3,000. Okay, I don't like this. This is some kind of launch there. Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 045, 40 miles, 10,000.
045. Okay, I like
Icon 1 Sentry 2. Be advised, threat aircraft bearing 135, 15 miles.
Alright. This is not right. I'll go ahead and center. Make sure we have good effect. That's 1 hit, and there should be a second hit. Come on, come on. There we go. 2 targets hit. I think our job here is done. I didn't hear 2, and actually dropping some load. I shouldn't be doing that, really.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Picture is
GBU released.
There we go.
GBU released.
Okay, on the rejoin.
2.
We have
Python 1-2 on my way.
1 good effect. This is definitely a good effect. And this one looks it's smoking. So it might have penetrated actually. And yeah, we definitely blew it up. It's not all that dramatic as you saw this dock over there on the port, but still, I would still call this good effects. You can see it's engulfed in flames.
Icon 1 Sentry 2. Be advised, enemy aircraft launch activity detected. Bullseye 130, 260 miles.
Stay maneuvering there.
Icon 1-1 Sentry 2. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 330, 60 miles, 15.
Python 1-2 impact.
Right, number 2 is getting also some hits. He might have released in pairs actually, which is fine. That's pretty much his own discretion, and he actually hit the other admin building. So the admin buildings in one actually fuel and lubrication materials stash destroyed. As you can see, Sam's are hard at work over there. Make sure it's not guided. And really, our job here is done now. All it's left to do for us to RTB and check. Alright guys, very pleased to welcome you here, and I have very good news for you, and for us all indeed. So the Serbs have agreed to leave basically those states, the Croatians, the Slovenians. Actually, so the Slovenians are pretty independent by now, but the Croatians, the Bosnians, and the Albanians B. So they are withdrawing their military equipment and personnel from those territories. Um, I'm very pleased with that. We, you know, on the strikes that we did, and actually many other strategical strikes. We actually through my cockpit, you kind of guys witnessed very small fraction of what actually took place. So the entire over here, NATO Air Force situated over here on the eastern Italian coast, and air bases in Italy and over here in Slovenia was entirely dedicated to doing those strategic strikes, and I would like to think that they actually had some effect on things. So this campaign is complete, and we actually I actually managed to move my some of my guys over here to the east into Belgrade. Just uh, yeah, it was pretty much a clear ground. So we actually managed to move some of my guys over here into Belgrade, just to indicate that this campaign is successful. Remember, one of the victory conditions over here, actually not over here, but uh, over at in the descriptions of those campaigns states that we actually have to take Belgrade. We've done so, and actually the clock is stopped, and it's not running. So that's a successful campaign for us, guys. So very glad with how things turn out. And again, the Falcons performing at their best. Very nice, very good. So with this, guys, I've completed all three Balkan campaigns, uh, which means that we have to probably download ourselves another theater and continuing on these Falcon BMS adventures. I'm very thankful to all the developers out there that are developing those theaters and adapting those theaters to 433 BMS. You know, a huge thank you to all of those guys there, all the developers, all the testers that are doing the testings and the debugging. Very good guys.